Lord have mercy. My headset was on too loud, so now I'm deaf and have a fucked up molar all in one shot. It's a good way to start a Friday night, TGIF. We had a good time yesterday at the Thursday Freakout. It was very eventful. Thanks to Mr. Green for showing up and everyone else that was in the live chat box. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining. It was a pleasure to actually have one of you, hint, David Gosper, David G, to actually have one of the folks from the chat box to actually call in and chew the fat, if you will. Just not mine. And it was good. It was good to have that interaction. It really is what I've been looking forward to from day one. I've actually said it so many times. The conversation on UFO Buster Radio is between the blue-collar folks. The folks that don't get the straight answer. They get the runaround. You know, they get that constant political red tape. The bureaucratic red tape. That red tape that just will not go away when you're trying to find out answers about what's happening. Kind of like the other day when I called Newfork, and apparently they don't accept numbers that don't show up on their caller IDs. Really? You're supposed to be there for the people, to let the people report things and allow them to feel safe that some Newfork employee is not going to go crazy and sell their shit to Express.com or Express UK or The Mirror or you know, any of those tabloids. Which really, I think in a way they have been doing that because you see a lot of reports from Newfork and MUFON end up on those publications. You know, the same publications that say that Bill Clinton had an alien baby and stuff like that, and Hillary Clinton really does like cigars. You know, those kind of publications. Publications that say that Barack Obama is a reptilian. And they go on and on. And a lot of times you see those Newfork and MUFON reports end up on the tabloids. Who gets paid for that? Like, who is the winner of that chicken dinner when these reports, which are being sent to a website where you feel comfortable that you're reporting this to people who are like-minded and may understand your temporary lunacy, but then the shit ends up on the internet. Who is the one that gets paid for that? That's what I want to know. Because apparently it's not the person that's reporting it, because they're not getting shit other than the pure and total embarrassment of coming across this thing on a tabloid. I'm just saying. So I just think it's weird that they will not accept a call-in to their phone line or their recording system by a blocked telephone number. Which honestly, I don't know why my number is blocked because, shit, I don't block it. Anyone can reach it. You can do like that last person that I ended up getting a copyright notice for. And I said I would get it, and I did. It didn't even take 8 fucking hours after I played it for YouTube to say, hey, somebody put a claim on your episode because you played Weird Al Yankovic's, what the fuck was that song? I forgot what it was, but I'm not going to play it again. Something about being a nerd. I can't remember. There's been a lot of painkillers in between when that happened to now. Thanks to the industry of dentistry in the United States of America, and how they rubber dick you, basically, all for the money. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. So I started the episode today. I was like, let's talk about something different. Let's talk about, I know what, reptoids. Well, I mean, why not, right? Let's talk about reptoids, some things that I found on the internet. And if you chime in on the chat box, you can let me know what your opinion is regarding reptoids, reptilians, those half-human looking shape-shifting sons of bitches. They come from another dimension sometimes, and sometimes they don't. But I thought I was going to start the podcast today and make it all country music. You know, I'm in Texas, so why not? Why not just play a bunch of country music? And after the first song, I felt suicidal. I wanted to take my tooth out. I wanted to just take myself out because that pickup truck song was just too much for me. Yeah, it really was. So I said, well, let's go somewhere else. Let's go to the land of, you know, the ganja, the rum, and the island's life. So that's what we're going to do this Friday. We're going to go out to the island. So you guys, you might just have to pause this podcast, go get yourself some whiskey or rum, turn the lights low. I know some of you fuckers got a bunch of marijuanas also, so just to keep the mood going, go ahead and do that as well. Now, you meth heads, I don't know what to tell you. You do whatever you need to do. Anybody else either, the coke sniffers, it's probably a quicker, faster hit for you guys, so you don't even pause it. Just go ahead and then snort it up, and don't even pause the podcast, because by the time the song is over, you're on cloud 9. So the first one, it's gonna be a great song. So it's called "Put My Roots Down." They said my roots are gonna get drilled on Monday, just to be honest with you. But you go ahead and put them down.
Oh, when you look at me like that, I swear that something in the air so vibrant. Now I'm just pointing out the fact. Hey, I want you to tell me how you feel. Hey, you keep looking at you, feeling so deep, gonna catch an overload. Looking at you, babe. I've been looking at you all day. Looking so good, looking at me, making me feel like I do it all for you. Looking so good, looking at you, babe. Hey, I think I'm into you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try. Unless we try. Wanna get in close with you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try. Unless we try. Oh, when you smile at me like that, hey, I swear there's nothing that could stop me, baby. Oh, I would fight for just your time. Oh, it's just something about your way now. You keep looking so good, looking at me, making me feel like I do it all for you. Looking so good, looking at you, babe. Hey, I think I'm into you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try. Unless we try. Wanna get in close with you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try. Unless we try. You make me wanna put my roots down. You make me wanna put my roots down. Try. We could try. You make me wanna put my roots down. You make me wanna put my roots down. Try. Yeah, we could try. Hey, I think I'm into you. You made me wanna put my roots down. Made me wanna put my roots down. Yeah. Wanna get in close with you. Made me wanna put my roots down. Made me wanna put my roots down. Down. Hey, I think I'm into you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try. Unless we try. Wanna get in close with you. You make me wanna put my roots down. We'll never fly unless we try.
The roots in the down. That's exactly what's going to go down in a couple of days. The roots are going to go down. And hopefully, too, because I understand that possibly you might just have to take the entire tooth out. So, you know what? Who cares? Gotta be honest with you guys. Who cares? Pull the damn thing out. I mean, I'm really upset about the state of the dentistry situation in the U.S. And I don't know if it's just in the United States, but it fucking sucks. It really does. And they do it all for money. Like, I literally have to shop around for someone to take care of me and on their time. But I have no idea. You know, on Monday, there may not be a podcast on Monday. Monday is a day that I go, hopefully, and I really am hoping for this. Like, I'm hoping to get knocked out and have someone go in and take care of some business. Really, take care of the business. That's what I want. That's it. Simple as that. And, you know, after a while of feeling this pain that radiates from your tooth through the side of your face, it makes your freaking ear feel like it's on fire. The rest of your teeth are like, oh, I'm running the fuck out of here. You kind of like don't even care about having any kind of procedure. You're like, fuck it. Go ahead. As a matter of fact, don't even put anything to numb the pain. I've already been through the worst of it. Go ahead and drill. Just get it done with. Bananas. Bananas. By the way, Dr. Green, hey, Green Man, I think I'm going to call you Dr. Green. Doc Green is in the chat box right now. And he's on time because we need to talk about the situation with reptilians. I've been hearing a lot of things about reptilians as of late. Many different circles, people talking about them. So we're going to take a little bit of a brief kind of history into the world of the reptilian life. And all I got to say, Gutter's on. All I got to say is this. Somebody show me a fucking reptilian. I don't want to see the people on TV anymore. I want someone to take me to that reptilian person. That person they think is shape-shifting and trying to take over the world. That's who I want to know. I want to see them. I want to see a reptilian. Gooter says reptilians are cool. You know what? If there is a humanoid being on this planet that can do the things that they say reptilians can do, yeah, they're fucking awesome. Why would anyone be afraid of that just because they're different? At the end of the day, if your country has about, let's say, 60 reptilians, fuck, the planet has billions of people in it. What you got to be afraid of? Right? If it turns out there's like a half dozen reptilians running any one given country, we just got to find a way to identify those fuckers and put them on the fucking quarantine. That's all I got to say. So don't be afraid. Let there be reptilians. Party all the time and nobody cares. It looks like Doc Green and I are sharing some dental madness. Root canals are not cool. They're not cool, but at the end of the day, they solve the problem. My thing is, why the fuck do we have root canals if we have dental implants? Like, let's just cut to the damn chase. You know that your root canal is going to go to shit in a few years. And so is the crown they put on it. I think those things are only guaranteed for less than 5 years. Stop fucking around. I don't got time to go back to your ass so that you can drill more holes in my teeth. Just give me a fucking porcelain tooth. Drill that shit into my jaw and let me be done with it. I know. It's probably like the third or fourth day I talk about this. It's just so fucking annoying. It just makes no sense. Guter said he's had 2 root canals. They suck, but you'll feel better after. But that's my thing. I want to feel past the life expectancy of that fucking crown they put over it. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Green says Kathie Lee Gifford is a gecko. And she might just be, geez. How old is she? She's been around since I was like in my teens. Kathie Lee Gifford, are you serious? She's surviving, and I want to see one day. Like, here's the thing. If Kathie Lee Gifford really is a reptilian, why can't we catch her licking her eyeballs? That's important to me. Or like, if she goes to the beach, does she like hop around crazily, lifting one leg at a time because she's trying to cool down her pads on her reptilian feet? We've seen those out in Australia. They do that. Yeah, bananas. All right, let's get into this reptilian craziness because, damn, I just can't understand what the hell is going on. Green said that at one time his stuff was so swollen from dental issues that he looked like a gerbil walking around trying to hide 2 grapefruits in his cheeks. Listen, I'm waiting for that to happen because I'm telling you, I would be the worst patient on the planet. I would literally be cursing people out left and right constantly because I mean, that's how I roll. You guys already know that because I am Manny Moonraker. And the hashtag is no fucks are given. So let's talk about these reptoids. Now, I purposely did not put the titles of the articles that I put in here, but there were some surprising things, some conversations that I'm just shocked. Shocked. The title is Reptoids Are Not Gym Rats. No, it's not someone doing reps at the gym. No. Not somebody that goes just hooked up on steroids and doing reps. Those are not reptoids. So let's clear that up. Let's not get that confused. Here's a couple examples of historically where people might get the idea that reptoids really exist. In mythology, I mean, we're going way fucking back. So you guys sit back. Hopefully you did what I asked you to do at the beginning because it is a ganja session. And you got your... self-medicated stuff. In mythology, many cultures apparently have legends of creatures which are part human and part reptile. This article says that one of the first historical depictions of a reptilian humanoid was an ancient Egyptian deity by the name of Sobek. What does Sobek look like? He had a humanoid body and his head was that of a crocodile. Crikey. Now, according to this, a lot of traits associated with Sobek was the fact that he was aggressive and very animalistic. If another word for animalistic was mad as fuck, I would be too. I mean, that's one ugly looking ass dude. I'll be honest with you. I'll be pissed as hell as well. South Asian and Southeastern Asian mythology, the Nāga, it's another semi-divine creature which has half human and half serpent. Again, going back in time, throughout history, we see that there's references to this so-called reptilian humanoid. In folklore, sightings of humanoid reptile cryptids apparently were common in southern United States because that's where they got the moon shines. In the swamps of all fucking places, in the late 1980s, there were hundreds of supposed sightings of a lizard man in the Bishopville, South Carolina area. Now listen, I already said a couple of days ago, the Carolinas are hopping They're becoming the hotbed of UFOs. And there was another story I came to, which I didn't quote on this particular episode article list, but there was one that said that when we have reptilians in politics, usually the place that they come from, the state that they originate from, there is a sudden spike in UFO sightings. Food for thought. Food for thought. So don't be surprised if in the next election, wherever the fuck you at, if there's someone that you believe is in power because he's a reptilian, he's part of that conspiracy, keep an eye out for UFO incidents and reports from their home state or country, region, town, whatever it is, wherever the fuck they come from, to see if, in fact, there is a spike in UFO sightings and reports. That really is fascinating that people go that deep. They really go that deep into this whole reptilian thing. It is bananas. I'd never seen something like this. Not at all. Now, here, this article actually points to the origins of this reptilian situation, the conspiracy, the fact that people say that reptilians are involved in politics because they want to control humanity. This article says that the origins actually comes from Michael Barkun, professor of political science at Syracuse University, actually said that the idea of a reptilian conspiracy actually came from the first Conan fiction of Conan the Barbarian and the creator Robert E. Howard. He says in Robert E. Howard's work of Conan the Barbarian, The Shadow Kingdom, which was published in Weird Tales, August 1929, the story was basically about an idea of lost worlds of Atlantis and Lemuria, particularly Helena Blavatsky's The Secret Doctrine, written in 1888, with a reference to dragon men who once had a mighty civilization on a Lemurian continent. So Howard took reference from that in order to create the serpent men, and he described them as humanoids with human bodies, snake heads, who were able to imitate humans at will, and who lived in underground passages and used their shape-changing and mind control abilities to infiltrate humanity. Really, when you listen to folks, aka David Icke, that talk about this whole alien conspiracy, that is basically in a nutshell. They change their shape, they take over positions of power, and they're all about just basically getting into humanity and finding ways to control it. That is the reptilian conspiracy. Now, where they come from, lots of different theories about where they come from. There's one theory that says they come from the fourth dimension. Another theory says they come from another star system. The star system that's not too far from the Nordic type of alien. So it's bananas, totally bananas. There was an alien abduction reported back in 1967, which actually was one of the first earliest reports about reptilians being involved with the abduction. In Ashland, Nebraska, a police officer by the name of Herbert Schrimmer, who was born in 1945, under hypnosis, recalled being taken on aboard a UFO in 1967 by humanoid beings with a slightly reptilian appearance who wore a winged serpent emblem on the left side of their chest. Now, folks who are, enthusiasts of such sightings and things like that, have often ruled this particular incident as a hoax. But again, where did Herbert Schirmer get the idea of a reptoid situation, a reptilian humanoid? Where would he get that from? And the thing is, he's a cop too, so I don't think he was going around busting reptilians. But it's fascinating. Fascinating how historically the idea of reptoids and reptilians have been around for some time. The last person to add to the theory historically of aliens that are of the gecko nature is David Icke. And a lot of people love to hate David Icke for a lot of different reasons. No fucks given, that's the truth. According to the British conspiracy theorist David Icke, tall, blood-drinking, shape-shifting, reptilian humanoids from the Alpha Draconis star system are hiding underground in bases, and they are the force. According to Icke, the force behind a worldwide conspiracy against humanity, and he contends that most of the world's ancient and modern leaders are related to reptilians. Some of these people are part of the Rothschilds, the Bush family, the British royal family, and the Merovingians dynasty. Guter says he doesn't like Icke. You know, there's a lot of people who don't like Icke, but let me tell you this, and this is important. Icke has found the support of over 47 countries. His lectures, they kind of garner people in the amounts of over 6,000 in attendance at a time. But, you know, we had this conversation not too long ago that a lot of people believe that, you know, when they're powerless, it's because the people that are above them, the people that are running things, are so powerful. And to have that separation between their situation and those that they feel are controlling their lives, they make them alien. They make them greater than what they are. And so sometimes psychologists kind of see the reptilian conspiracy as being a way to explain someone who is downtrodden, has a lot of negative incidents happening in their lives, and why not believe in an alien power taking over your life and making your shit absolutely miserable. Completely miserable. It's time for the next song, because I don't want you guys to drift away, but now we're going to get into the idea that many celebrities are from 4.2 far draconian fourth dimension craziness. True story.
Still with me all the time. Away. still with me all the time.
It turns out that the live chat is taking a life of its own right now. So we're going back and forth talking about Williams. I made the mistake of saying Willie, and Dr. Green said Billy. At least Bill did something. I'm not really sure which Bill he's talking about. Is he talking about the guy that made cigars famous, or the guy that was humping alien chicks? I don't know. They might be one and the same, to be honest. I'll just leave that one there. The next phase of this travel through reptilian life, as you know it, or if you want to research it, there's an article. Now, when I first looked at this, I was like, God damn, this dude is fucked up in the head. The title of this article is Taylor Swift. It's part of the reptilian race, and her recent social media posts prove it. I was like, oh, here we go. This guy's hating on good old-fashioned Tay-Tay. Come on. There's no way that this person does not like Tay-Tay's music. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. But then I was like, wow, that's jacked up what they're saying in here. It turns out it was not a dude. It was a dudette. And Sislik. That was her name, Sislik. Sounds personal. So it turns out that Anna has a particular perspective that she can actually prove to you, the reader, that Taylor Swift is a reptilian. And listen, you go out there and you look for articles, and everyone that has any kind of power or popularity, any kind of big money, it's a reptilian, guaranteed. So don't even question that. The article is kind of funny because it starts off like this: for those who spend their weekends binge watching Ancient Aliens, I know a few people like that, and reading self-published conspiracy theory books, the reptilian race might be a foreign concept. I don't think so, man. Some of these books out there, shit, they talk about reptilians like there's no tomorrow, basically. That's the name of the next James Bond film, Like There's No Tomorrow, with Manny Moonraker. I just throw that in there. Somebody get that to the producer. So basically what they're saying, what she's saying, Anna, is that the alien humanoids known as reptilians are from the fourth dimension and secretly control everything going on in our measly 3 dimensions, all while disguised as humans. Yeah. That is true. They're cryptic, manipulative, tall, piercing eyes. Basically, Taylor Swift in a nutshell. That's kind of wrong, right? Because, damn, our reptilians, do they really have the ability to be so popular? Because now I feel like I've been taken over by... Like, I got to remove her from my Spotify list now because she might be trying to take over the country through these messages, subliminal messages she's sending into my mind and my ears. So you guys out there, please remove Taylor Swift from your music list, your favorites. Just get her the fuck out of there. She's poisoning your mind. Here's some reasons that this individual says that Taylor Swift is a reptilian. Number one, she's got piercing. Reptilians have piercing blue or green eyes with narrow almond-shaped to their reptilian eye sockets. She says that is Tay-Tay. Reptilians have a keen sense of hearing, so who the fuck else would have a better sense of hearing than a goddamn musician? Gosh, she's got her there, doesn't she? I mean, you can't... How do you argue this? How do you argue this? Another fact that they add to this is whether you're a fan or not of Tay-Tay, you got to admit she's a pretty solid guitarist. How many of you know a guitarist in your family or maybe a friend of the family? Maybe your kids are guitarists. They're fucking reptilian. Keep an eye on them. Oh my God. They're going to take over your life. And before you know it, there will be a time where they will become you through shapeshifting. The next bullet point for this young lady who says that Tay-Tay is an alien reptilian, it's they are known to have mysterious scars on their bodies when they shapeshift into human form. And apparently, according to this person, wait a minute. The Green says he doesn't like to comment about guitar players. Hey, Dr. Green, maybe your name's Dr. Green because you're a lizard. Maybe that's what it is. Let me just finish this. Basically, apparently when Tay-Tay was on Jimmy Fallon, she displayed a prominent leg scar, which she said was from a glue gun accident as a child. Is that true, Tay-Tay? Is that really what happened? Huh? Really? You little snake? Let's move on to the next one. The other thing is, on top of her gorgeous golden locks, the famous singer is known to rock gold jewelry on the red carpet because apparently reptilians love gold. They love the cha-chings. But not just any cha-ching, because apparently they like a particular type of gold, which is really weird. Like I've never heard of this gold. It is a different form of gold that they like to wear, but they also use it for fuel. And it's called monatomic, that's what it is. Monatomic gold. Never heard of this gold before, but apparently it is what they use for fuel, and because they're on planet Earth, they like using it and flaunt it as jewelry as much as possible. I mean, really, what better way to make sure you have fuel for when you need to get the fuck out of here than to just wear it like it's jewelry or you're showing off some new cha-ching. Two more. Number one, the next one is Taylor is a loner. Lizard people love being alone. And apparently, this particular lizard likes putting that in her music. Yeah, could you imagine that little blonde-headed, gold-wearing, lizard-like fingering guitarist sitting there singing what amounts to like being reptilian country songs, talking about how lonely she is. How sad it is to be Tay-Tay. There's a quote in here that Tay-Tay, I guess, said something regarding this. And she says she started writing songs because she wasn't invited to parties or sleepovers. Yeah, because you would fucking eat their fucking animals, Tay-Tay. You would literally go in there and eat people's pets because you're a fucking reptoid. Come on. I mean, be responsible. Be a responsible reptilian. Own what you do. You know you were going to go in there and eat those fuckers' hamsters. I hate people that cry like this. Really. The last one is Taylor has a long history of emotionally abusive behaviors. Apparently, reptilians are just fucking emotionally horrible. Like they like to take people's emotions and shit on them. the evidence for this in Tay-Tay's life is that there's a long list of feuds with other celebrities. Yeah. Celebrity Deathmatch, Reptilian Edition. And there's a joke here. Actually, we all laughed about it. It's that the list of celebrities feuding with Tay-Tay is as long as a CVS receipt stocked full of coupons. If you ever shop at CVS, you know that goddamn receipt with the coupons is long as fuck. That gives you an idea for you CVS people who like to purchase there and are CVS members. Fuck, you can't go anywhere without being offered a membership and shit. But those receipts get pretty long when you don't use your coupons for a while. That is bananas. That's the reptilian evidence for you. There's other people. Donald Rumsfeld, he's reptilian. George Bush, reptilian. Obama, reptilian. The badass man from Russia, reptilian. Think about it. You're surrounded by reptilians every day. Your boss, probably reptilian. Does he hide his head a little bit? Does she like to hide in their office while they're licking their eyeballs? Have you had bring your pet to school day or to work day and you come in with your little chihuahua and the dog goes missing? Your boss ate it. Because they're reptilian. True story. It's things to think about. Things you gotta think about. We got one more famous person that's been identified as a reptilian. And then for you guys who are live in the chat box, I want you to put in there, in the chat box, give me an idea of who you believe is part of the reptilian conspiracy that's trying to take over the world, and you really cannot take it anymore. I've had time to think about like the last story about the lady talking about old Tay. Is Tay a reptilian? No. Listen, it sounds like a bunch of jealousy, right? Like this lady probably tried to start a music career and failed. Yeah, she probably didn't have the nails long enough to pull them strings and stuff like that on the guitars. She probably sounded like shit when she sang, and her career went in the toilets. But you know what? She sounds like a good person to have to interview on the podcast to find out, why does she hate Tay so much? Why would you hate Tay to the point that you say she's reptilian? Probably as much as maybe as much hateration as the next celebrity gets. Yeah, but this one is a little weird. This one it's kind of crazy. Justin Bieber, the Biebs. Apparently back in 2017, he was seen shapeshifting in public by hundreds of fans. The Biebs. Why is it that the Biebs is always getting a bad rap? But according to the Mirror UK, the Biebs was down in Australia and at an airport with a security guard. Right, and some skater kids decided they're going to follow his ass to the damn Perth airport. And it turns out that hundreds of fans claimed they saw the Biebs turn into a giant reptile. What the hell is that about? One of the local skaters who remained anonymous said this: his bodyguard was pointing at us, shouting, and he'd kick our teeth in if we didn't put away our phones. That sounds fucking normal. I don't get it. I have no idea why is this such a big thing. But like they said, in 2017, good old Biebs was caught transforming into a gigantic lizard, and people claim that this bodyguard was trying to keep people from seeing that. And not only did he just turn all scaly and shit, he like grew taller. He just grew like massive, like a big ass fucking Godzilla, taking over the Perth, Australia airport. Another witness says that Biebs' eyes turned completely black and he grew taller and had scales all over his body. Jeez, are you shitting me right now? Did the Biebs turn into a lizard? I don't know. I can't. The Biebs isn't really taking over the country. He's not taking over humanity. He's not. Fuck, I don't even think the Biebs is doing anything these days. Is it because he's sitting on some heating rock somewhere? I have no idea. But these are the theories that people have about reptilians. They are slowly but surely integrating themselves into the human society, the human condition, rising above those that are red-blooded human beings and taking power to control humanity in its future. My thing is this, there's enough stories out there about people being reptilians. I mean, we heard one story at one time that there was an area in a particular state in the United States that all of a sudden was blowing up with some really posh apartments next to some big corporate areas. And that some people, not a lot, but some people say that they would watch the people coming in of these out of these co-ops or condominiums, and they would swear that a lot of them looked like shapeshifters, that things were not what they should have been, but they all looked like they were, how could I say, carbon copies of each other. Is there really a reptilian situation? Dr. Green says maybe Bieber moves from Canada because it's too cold. I mean, it's possible, right? But then again, don't most people move from the north because it's a little cooler? up north, and they need to get that warm South Miami beach glow. Gooder says the Kardashians are probably lizards. I could believe that. I mean, even in their regular, normal human meat skins, they look like they're so plastic surgeryed out. They look like they're trying to cover up some lizard skin. No jokes about that. That probably is what's going on. At the end of the day, we need solid evidence, folks. That's what we need. There's a lot of people, and I think that when it comes to reptilians and reptoids, psychology might have it right. But until the day that we can pull a fucking scale from one of these sons of bitches, how are we really going to know? How are we going to know? I invite any reptilian out there to come visit with me down here in San Antonio, Texas. Just come down here. I'll get a nice big heating rock for you. You can just lay out and we'll chew the fat about why you're trying to take over the country. Why is humanity such a big thing for you? Fourth dimension or not? That's the podcast for today. A little history about reptilian humanoids from way back when, from the Egyptians on to today. And I'm sure these stories are going to continue, right? Because we know Corey Good said he had a bunch of altercations with reptilians on Mars. And there are still people who actively believe that there are bases underground throughout the United States and the world that are filled with reptilians who are just poised to take over the world and make the planet their planet, inhabitable for them, by destroying it, by causing global warming. I mean, the reptilian thing goes way past politicians and celebrities. It goes deep. It goes really deep. But at the moment, all we can say is, it's the end of the podcast. Who gives two fucks about reptilians? It's Friday. Hopefully you had yourself some good ganja, some good alcohol, and it's time to check out. Oh Lord, it's time to check out.